Hello.
Welcome. Hello, how are you?
I am doing great. How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. I don't have my sidekick with me, to Jeanette,
Oh,
today. She's going on a cruise on Thursday. Look, let
nice.
me, okay. Her son is sending her to get away and
Very
relax for a
nice.
minute. Yeah, isn't that
As
awesome?
she should. As
Yeah,
she should.
yeah. Hey, Shauna, how are you? The show is this coming weekend, so you know you need to reach out to me, right? And I just got these messages coming across the thing. So we're gonna give it a few more, just a couple of minutes, and then I'm gonna go ahead and start my little promo piece, uh,
Okay.
so we can get that out of the way, and then we're gonna get in because you got some stuff. Some you got some stuff that
Good
some
stuff.
people need. Yes,
Oh
yes,
my
yes.
goodness. For
Okay.
sure.
Yeah. So thank you guys. Like I said, we're gonna what look, hey Teresa, how you doing? We're gonna I'm gonna warm up a little bit and just tell you guys the lineup for Beauty Under One Roof, which is this coming weekend, September 14th and 15th at the Hilton North. The lineup just keeps getting better. Today has been
Oh.
a really good day. And let me tell y'all guys a part of why, look, I just get excited for other people who are doing things in this industry that's like, oh my
Hmm.
God. So the Good Barber, who is the director of the Barber Battle that we're doing on Sunday, he was at, and I went to BarberCon, which is kind of the holy grail kind of thing for barbers. It's a touring barber battle. So I want to say it does like four or five different cities. And it was in
Nice.
Dallas on Sunday. And the good barber, our good barber, took second place in the freestyle. So he's still killing it. He's just so creative when it comes to
Hmm.
dealing with the hair and the hair color and things. And then I got a phone call from Brian Funes, who is the cut master is his Instagram. Well, he was supposed to have been on tonight, and then we forgot he was going to New York Fashion Week.
Oh.
So he calls me and he says, "I'm doing a shoot. We're working on some things right now." He says, "But I am literally working with Converse, the tennis shoe line." He says, "So some of the photos you see and things like that, even for some of the upcoming things, one of our people who will be at the show
Nice.
is actually doing that." So, like I said, I'm just excited. I'm like, oh my God, you guys are doing some things all around the world, the country, in this beauty industry, which gets me excited.
Mhm.
Then I spoke with Gayla Beleg, as I mentioned earlier. Gayla is the lead hairstylist for the Family Business franchise on Netflix. She's been with them from the beginning. She started out doing plays in Hollywood, kind of in that area, and now lead hairstylist for that franchise. Has worked with BET, Lifetime, Hallmark, and all of those kind of things. She'll be giving up some game on how to get into that. She's actually starting an agency.
Nice.
Uh, if people want to get into that arena, and I see you, Roz. I know you look, Roz, who Harry Store now, is also going to New York Fashion Week. So she won't be at the show this year.
Mhm.
But look, just excited for people doing just awesome things in this industry. You know, I'm just excited for us as a people, as a group of people, that there's so many other things you can do other than just standing behind the chair. Not that there's anything wrong with standing behind the chair, but there's some other avenues that you can explore uh,
Yes.
if that's your choice. There's some other
Mhm.
things you can be doing. Then I got these other people to come on board. Jasmine LaCour owns a braid school here in the Houston market. She's an author, she's an educator, a public speaker, and she's the number one braid educator. So she's been at Bronner Brothers and the Premier and all of those places teaching braiding and that kind of stuff. She'll be at the show. And then I have a bridal consulting company that just came on. So if you guys want to get into that bridal space, it'll be
Yes.
a great way to segue into that, get some insight on how to get there. Um, and then I have See the City HTX, which is See Houston HTX. And she kind of deals in culture and culinary. Y'all know we like food. Yeah,
For
no, we,
sure.
we will go to some restaurants, right, and eat up some stuff, but just connecting people and things together. So a great way to connect with expose yourself to new clients and new arenas that you may not be in. So she will always be, yeah, she'll also be there at the show. So like I said, it just keeps getting better. We got a day spa that's coming in that you guys are interested in either working with or just I want some services. I want to go get some services. Y'all
You
can
need
do
some
it.
services.
Yeah, like we need to have that balance. And this is a black owned spa. So
Nice.
so it's a good way for us to kind of come together and do what we all been talking about is spending money within our own
Community.
culture, between our own communities, the blacks, the browns. At least let's narrow it down to that. Um, so don't forget that we still have the Rev Air giveaway going on.
Mhm.
You can register every day. You can't register but once a day, but you can register every day. And the winner, we're counting points. So you have to go on, and the person with the most points is who will win that dryer. Rev is a good sponsor for us. They've sent actually 3 of those $499 dryers that works on locks and natural hair, so it
Hmm.
stretches out or elongates
Exciting.
the natural hair while you're blow drying it. So it's a great tool, especially for textured hair. Can't forget Cheryl Morrow, and who's coming and talking about Afro hair science. And then there's also LaDosha with Dosha Color class and Kay Simpson, and the list goes on. So guys, go to the website and look up, go under classes under, when you get to the page where it says Afro Hair Summit, click that and look underneath. It'll say classes, and it gives you the schedule of when the classes will be held and which day, because we have them on Sunday and Monday. So go to beautyunderoneroof.com or afrohairsummit.com to get more information on that. So that's my commercial uh, for
Very
the
good
show.
commercial.
Thank you. Until the end, and I'll do it again. uh,
Yes.
so,
Congrats to you. Congrats.
yeah, thank you. I am so excited about this show. It's kind of I did what we had that prayer line. I did what we've been saying, kind of let go and let God, and not trying to always be in it doing
Yes.
anyway. So
Being
I'm
pulled in 100 directions.
yes. My thing today was just be still. And when I became still, the phone started ringing.
My
So
God.
I
That's a lesson.
was
That's a
like,
lesson right there.
yeah, and I was like, okay, God, I get it. Let me sit down again and see what happens. So, but yeah, so today has been a really good full day for me, a full day. And then yesterday I drove to Dallas and back. Yesterday went to that show. That,
Wow.
so anyway, but it's been good.
God bless your efforts with success.
Thank you. Y'all pray for me because I'm like, you must be a crazy woman. Uh, but tonight's guest is Linda Boyce. And Linda, tell us a little bit about you, where you're from. Give us a little bit of who Linda Boyce is, and then we'll jump into the meat of it.
The meat of it. Okay, hello everyone. My name is Linda Boyce. I am, let's see, where am I from? I was born in Barbados. I grew up in New York and I transitioned to Houston, Texas in 2009.
Okay.
Um, I had to start all over building a clientele. So, whew, that's a whole nother thing. But God was with me. My husband, everybody, everyone was on board, helping me to rebuild my clientele here in Houston, Texas, and it has been wonderful. Overall, I have been a hairstylist for 30 years. And I So many classes, traveled everywhere just to get education because I just really believe that education was very, very key and still is very key. So we got on planes, trains, buses, whatever it took. We were going to get the education, okay? Hair shows, come from that era where, I mean, Bronner Brothers,
Mm,
name it. We were there. I was there, just supporting the hair shows and getting the education and following up with that. So since 2016, I have kind of narrowed down and started my trichology studies. Um, and even before that, in 2006, I took my first non-surgical hair replacement class. Um, and so it throughout my cosmetology journey, I knew that there was more,
okay.
and especially on the trichology part, what drove me to study trichology was that I had clients that were asking me questions I had no answers to,
Okay.
right? And I went to the, before I get to that, I'm also a mom of three.
Don't
I just
forget.
dove right into it, right? I've been married 33 years. I am a pastor's wife. So that's my background.
Okay, okay.
So yeah, so
But wait a
why
minute.
why
Wait a minute. I met you when you had a spa.
yes, yes,
Okay.
yes. So my journey, oh my goodness. So my journey was I came to Texas in 2009. I booth rented. I had no clientele, but I had to booth rent because I had three children at the time. They were in high school, middle school, so I needed the flexibility. So it was a leap of faith, because I couldn't be tied to a schedule. If you know what that means, I
That makes
couldn't.
sense. Yes.
Yeah. So a leap of faith. I put ads in the paper again. Leap of faith. No income coming in, but I knew I had to do something. So I did community papers, I did advertising to get my clientele going, and that's what really got me going. So I started booth renting, then I moved to my own private suite. From there, I did a storefront. So this is all like within a year. Within a year, I got my private suite. Within a year, 2 years of that, I moved to a storefront, which is like 1,200 square feet. The lease on that was 5 years. So 5 years after that, I moved to a 5,800 square.
Yeah, she did.
I did.
Beautiful
I
place.
did.
It was
Knew
beautiful.
nothing about the spa world, but you know what? I said I'm going with it. Many sleepless nights, wondering how I was going to pay that $10,000 rent. But
Yeah.
we hired on estheticians, we hired on massage therapists, so name it. So I have experience underneath my belt in terms of ownership, what that looks like, upscaling, downscaling. So anyone want any kind of advice? I'm your girl. I've done it. I've been there.
Been there, done that, right?
I have. I have. And so currently, after that, we went to another space. Harvey happened, COVID happened, and so after that, I went to booth, renting a private space again because I had to reset from COVID. Just kind of really trying to figure out, do I really want to continue owning a open concepts salon with booth renters and all of that.
Right.
I came to the conclusion I didn't want to do that anymore because I had done that from almost the beginning of my career. So I
Okay.
wanted something different, and so I then decided there were some office condos that were for sale, not too far from where I was, and so I went through the whole process. So again, I have experience, guys,
Okay.
of
But go back.
buying.
I don't want to miss that point. You do what with your space? You went,
It's an office condo that we purchased.
you bought your space. So
I bought my
you're not renting the building right now.
No, I
You,
own the office condo.
that's all I wanted. That's what I wanted people to hear. She owns the condo. A lot of us go in and we rent space, but there's
Yeah,
some other options that we don't sometimes think about. And
yeah.
that's one of them.
That's one of them. That's a whole process of that's a whole nother conversation. Just kind of guys, just kind of making sure that you are filing your taxes, you have accountability where your money is concerned. Because when you go to the bank, they want to see that you can afford this. They want to see your financials, right? So that's a whole nother.
Okay, we'll do that after the show. We'll come in
We'll
and
do
talk
that
about
after the show. For anyone
yeah.
that wants to know what the process may look like, going through the SBA, small business.
So you even did the SBA?
I did the SBA.
Okay, okay. Cool. A
Hmm.
lot of us run, and I'm saying that. Look, I'm actually a subject matter expert for the as for score. And I find that we kind of run or shy away from the purchasing of the building. We'll rent, but when it comes to that larger commitment, that
Yeah,
greater asset, we
yeah.
tend to backpedal a little bit when it comes to that.
Yeah, and there's no need if you have done the work. There's no need to backpedal or be afraid if you're upfront, right?
Hmm.
You filed your taxes, you're paying your taxes, you have a good credit score. So there's some foundational things that you have to have in
Right.
place in order to go through the SBA or just go to a conventional bank.
Financial. Yeah.
You don't have to go SBA. You can go to a conventional bank, but again, you have to have those foundational financials in place.
Yeah, yeah, definitely, definitely. Yeah, yeah. I just wanted people to hear that she owns the building. So even if you're in an office building, there's a lot of opportunity there.
Yeah,
There's a lot of vacant office buildings here in this market right now. So if you got your paperwork straight, it could be a great opportunity for you. Okay.
yeah,
All
yeah.
right.
So fast forward. I got the office condo because I wanted more of a private space, something more intimate, because I knew I was going into trichology.
Mhm.
And no one wants to be in open space.
Right.
When they come in, they have hair situations, scalp situations, hair loss. So they want the privacy. So that was one of the things that drove me for something more intimate where they come in, they feel okay, I feel okay being
Wait a minute, y'all.
here.
She's saying intimate. How many square feet is your
It
space?
is my space is 1250, but
Okay.
it's laid out so well. So I have 4 rooms,
Hmm.
and they're all dedicated to different things. So I have a wig room, I have a flex room where I make wigs, and that space can be used for anything.
Right.
And then I have a consultation room slash treatment room, and then I have the hairstyling room, and then of course the shampoo area. So they're very well for me
Dedicated.
and
Yeah.
for yeah laid
Yeah.
out.
Yeah. Yeah. And I just want people to know that we're not talking uh, a 500 square foot.
No,
No, no,
no,
we're not.
we're
We're
not.
talking a nice size where you can actually be comfortable
You can be
in the
comfortable.
space. Yeah.
Yes, yes, yes. So yeah, that's why I got the space because I knew, getting older, and I would need to transition at some point because we know standing behind that chair for all those hours is telling on the body. It's stressful on the body, stressful on your feet. So I knew still being hands on with hair, but still transitioning to really helping our community, Black women, all women, try to figure out what's going on with my hair.
Mm, yeah.
And I I I'm always so torn, or it really affects me when I see the amount of hair loss that we are experiencing, right?
Okay.
And I said, I really, I really need to be able to address it or offer some type of consolation, or there's help. So I'm always, it just tears at me because there's not enough education out there. There are a lot of myths,
Mm,
and there are a lot of marketing
yeah.
that we believe. The marketers, they do their job.
They
They
do
are
very well.
excellent.
They are. They got
That's why they get paid the
literally.
big bucks.
Yeah, exactly.
They are excellent at their job, but at the same time, we have to be excellent at doing our research and really understand what somebody is saying to you. So, for instance, what I mean by that is someone says, I'm selling XYZ. I'm not going to say a shampoo or growth
Right.
oil or whatever, but whatever it is, we're marketed to. And they say to you, buy this, man, it's going to grow your hair. You've seen the commercials, you've seen the Instagrams, you've seen the Facebook, you've seen it all. But at the end of the day, how can you tell me it's going to do what you claim it's going to do and you don't know the cause?
Mm,
I mean, I'd be so scared if I go to a doctor. He don't examine me. He don't take my blood. He don't do
mm.
anything, and he starts prescribing me stuff.
Some
Like
stuff.
I
Yeah.
would be,
Yeah. You'd be afraid.
I would be very,
You'd
very
be afraid.
afraid.
Yeah. Yeah. I never
Yeah,
thought of it that way. But yeah.
yeah. So, but that's what is being done to us, and because we don't know any better, and then sometimes because we're so desperate
Mm,
for help,
yeah. Yeah. Because
so
that
we
hair
buy.
loss is a whole mindset, is what's kind of, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, it's very traumatic.
Yeah. It's a mental
Um,
thing. Yeah.
it's very mental, but yeah, so my goal as a trichologist, as an educator, is to educate. I want women to just kind of take a step back and look at the facts, right? Take a step back and think about how we got here in the first place, right? What was happening at the time? Was I totally stressed out? Did I just have a baby? Am I menopausal? So those are some of the things that I want women to start thinking about. And
Hmm.
not only the cosmetic side of it, but what's really the real thing that I really want us to get is, here is a barometer of what's happening inside the body. I know we see it here, but
Hmm.
it's coming from somewhere. It's being nourished from somewhere.
Okay.
But there's
Mm.
such a disconnect. We want to buy shampoos and we want to buy all the stuff, but the hard thing is to take a look or try to find out what's happening inside of my body. We can't see what's happening inside the body. We can see this,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
And we want to address this, but in order to address this, we have to go deeper. We have to do a deeper dive.
Okay. So as a trichologist, what's first off, give us a definition of trichology or
Trichology is
trichologist.
the study of the hair and the scalp. And I don't know, we might need to redefine that, because if you study the hair and scalp, you gotta you gotta study the body and the body systems as well.
Okay. Yeah. You can't do that without the other.
You can't. You can't.
Okay. Okay. All right. So if someone is going through uh, a hair loss journey,
Yeah.
what do you do? What should they do first?
First, consultation, right? Consultations are very, very, very important. And I want to say, because before I would say, the first thing I would say to a client is go to a dermatologist. But we quickly found out that most dermatologists don't study hair and scalp.
Okay.
So, most of them don't.
Okay. Okay.
So you have to find one that do, so that they can do the necessary tests and not just go ahead and just, suggest steroid shots, right?
Mm,
Because you can't address something on the top that's happening internally. So I didn't know that. I didn't
Okay.
know that most of them don't study hair and scalp.
Okay.
So yeah. So there are things that dermatologists can do, like
Hmm.
prescribe and stuff, and there are things that trichologists can do. So the first thing is that we need to find out. We need to get some scalp analysis. We need to find out um, the level of stress. We need to find out age in terms of, are you experiencing menopause? We need to ask questions like, are you on birth control? Are you on IUDs? Um, do you have a lot of bloating after you eat? Um, Bloating, burping. Do you feel like the food is sitting on your chest? Because the more I study, I just realized that hair loss is, you have primary causes, you have secondary causes, because it's just not one thing that's happening,
Okay. Okay.
right? And the last thing I did presentation I did was on low stomach acid. Like, who knew that? I didn't
Yeah.
know that, right? So the
Yeah.
older that we get, this our stomach acids decrease. So if we don't have enough stomach acids to digest what we're taking in, the protein that we're taking in, the vitamins that we're taking in, we're not absorbing it. So we're going to be nutrient deficient.
Okay.
So you
Which
see
plays a big
how,
part. So the nutrient deficiency comes out in the hair.
absolutely,
Okay.
absolutely. And so so there are testings that need to be done to see where you're nutrient deficient, because I had a consultation not too long ago, and the lady brought me in a bag of vitamins, right? And because when you over supplement, that's a problem as well.
Okay.
So how do I know that I'm vitamin D deficient? How do I know that I don't have enough zinc? How do I know? Do I just go into GNC and go eeny meeny miny mo? Oh, I like that bottle. I like that bottle. I like what it's
Well,
saying.
I used to do that. I would go in and be like, okay, I think I need this, that, that, until I went to this doctor who was like, oh, hold up. Look, pump the brakes. You don't need half of this stuff that you're taking, but the stuff you need, you're not even taking. So I wasn't taking D, I wasn't taking zinc, I wasn't taking any of that. She's like,
Right.
girl, just stop the madness.
And that's what we're doing, right? We're over supplementing in areas that we don't need. For instance, one of the main ones that people say, "Oh, well, I took biotin. I'm taking biotin. It didn't do anything." Well, most adults don't need biotin, right?
Okay.
We produce. So you see, Erica, there's so much misinformation and so much information that we need to get out to the
Hmm.
public. We need to get out to hairstylists, you know.
Hmm.
So the more we know, the more informed we are, then the better our
Yeah,
hair is going to be.
definitely.
And ultimately, ultimately, the better our health is going to
Mm,
be. Because at the end of the day, if we don't have health, we don't have hair.
right.
And so one main point that I want the viewers also to know is that when you're supplementing and one of your major body organs need that supplement, it's going to go there first. So the
Okay.
hair is the last thing to get the nutrients, if at all. If at
Okay.
all, because if the body is always saying, I need to survive, but you don't need hair to survive.
Right.
So when you see hair loss, sometimes the body is in crisis, and one of those body systems need support.
Okay. Okay. So, so what kind of classes do you actually take to get all of this
Ooh. It is
knowledge?
ongoing. Oh my gosh. Um, my first was it UST? Okay, so I went to USTI. That was kind of like an introductory.
Okay, what's USTI?
I don't remember what the acronym
United
stands for.
Trichology or something?
Trichology Institute, U.S. Trichology Institute.
Okay.
Okay, so that was like a 3-day introductory. Then I went to WTS, World Trichology Society. That was a year, that was go at your own pace. Um, so that was a year, and then after that we did the clinicals. It was during COVID, so we did the clinicals online. But typically you go
Until
um in for the clinicals. I also took Kai Smith.
hmm
Um
I'm
yes.
familiar. Yeah.
ID, I lost hair loss behind the chair.
hmm
Intense. Intense. Um, and now I'm enrolled in a case studies. It'd be for the next month. Um, so it's ongoing, and education in between their hair shows, classes. So those are the main ones. Um, like I said, it's ongoing because
So,
there's so
yeah,
many. Yeah,
that's yeah. And the other thing is we're all different, so there can't necessarily be one thing that fits all because
it
God
does.
just gives
One
you
size does
makeup
not
stuff.
fit all.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I'm
So
glad you said that. One size, guys, does not, because we're all different. We have different blood types. Our body's level of absorption is different. We require different things. So I could be low in vitamin D. Erica, you could need zinc. So I'm not going to treat you the same,
yeah, yeah, yeah. Like I said,
right?
just a few years back, my doctor puts me on these mega doses of D almost every year because by the time I go back, I'm not doing what I'm supposed to do at
Oh, of
home.
course, of course. We
By the
never
time,
do.
yeah, yeah. For my annual, she's like, "You're not taking your D," and I'm doing. Yeah, no, I kind of slacked up, but I get this mega dose every year that builds me up, and then I
Yeah.
take the over the counter supposedly for the remainder of the year. But for whatever
Yes.
reason, my body doesn't have it doesn't. I don't know if it doesn't produce enough or whatever, but I end up
Right.
on these mega doses of D. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you also do cranial
Pros-
prosthetic?
prosthetics, yes.
What is a cranial prosthetic?
So cranial prosthetic is different to a wig. A wig is something that you take on and off. Cranial prosthetic can, but most times we use a medical adhesive to attach it to the scalp. Now, what I want to say about that is um, it's designed for people with no hair.
Okay.
Okay, and by I mean what I mean by no hair is that we do a scalp analysis. We recognize that your follicles are scarred.
Mm-hmm.
So what that means is there's no openings, there's no follicular openings, and so
Mm-hmm.
you have permanent hair loss,
Okay.
right? So I am very leery of using those kind of prosthetics on someone that has hair because if you do, they will end up with no hair because the prosthetics are not designed for people with hair.
So, so what's the difference between a, a prosthetic and a what lace front?
Cosmetic, right? So yeah, so the lace for those are cosmetics,
Okay.
and so when we're talking about cranial prosthetics, there's so many different materials that we can use, combinations of materials based on the person, their lifestyle. So it's just not a lace, it's not just not a lace front. That's more cosmetic. That's for the girls that I just want a wig. All right.
Okay.
You're right. So your cranial prosthetics are made of different medical grade bases, and we use medical grade adhesive to attach it. So it's not your regular run of the mill run to the beauty supply. No, and they're
Okay.
custom made to fit the person's head.
Okay.
So one size does not fit all.
Okay. Okay.
And you have prosthetics that you can run you up to $25,000 based
Okay.
on the base material, based
Material.
on the hair, the
Mm-hmm.
quality of hair, right? And the base material. The one that really, really looks like scalp, not something that was bleached to, well, anyway.
Okay.
Okay.
Something that
Yeah,
looks like it's coming out of your scalp.
absolutely. For real, for real.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So you mentioned scalp analysis. What do you mean? How in depth do you go with that process of it?
Okay. So a scalp analysis is where we use a scope, which is like a 100%, sometimes 200% magnification that
Okay.
we use to look at the scalp. What we see when we use the scope, we will call it, you cannot see with the natural eye.
Okay.
So most times when I'm showing a client what their scalp looks like under that magnification, they are really shook because we're seeing things that they didn't know was there. So we're seeing clogged follicles. We're seeing excessive sebum, which is oil on the scalp.
Okay. And so how
Some
what you said clogged follicle, how does a follicle get clogged?
the follicle gets clogged because number one, most times we're not shampooing regularly enough,
Okay.
right? And not only that, we're not doing targeted shampoos where we are really focusing on the scalp to make sure that we're removing
Mm.
the A, natural oils, B, the other oils. We're not going to get into that tonight, but the grease,
Okay. Okay.
the grease.
Grease. You mean we using grease?
We have to talk
That's a
about
whole
the
nother.
grease, ladies. We got to
Okay,
talk about the grease.
that's the third session. This is the first. We got two more that we've already identified.
Right. So one is happening naturally because our body produces the natural sebum, right? All things being equal, body working good, your scalp is doing what it was meant to do, produce natural oils.
Okay.
Um, and then there are the oils that we put on that we lay in there, grease my
Okay. Are
scalp,
you
you
want
know
to grease
that.
my
Ugh.
scalp?
Please
Yeah, okay.
stop. Right?
Stop it, right? Hey,
Stop. Just
yeah.
stop.
And as a kid, if you're my age, that's we.
Just lay it in there.
Yeah,
But we
yeah.
didn't know any better.
We
We didn't
didn't
know
know any
any
better. And when
better.
you know better, you do
We
better.
we do better. Okay. So I'm also doing a study on the ingredients within those greases
Hmm.
that are really not good for us.
Okay. And I tell
So
people, petroleum jelly means just that. Petroleum jelly. Petroleum
yeah.
jelly.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
we have as hairstylists, we've got to stop the madness and stop doing those things that are potentially causing our clients hair
Mm,
loss. Because when
okay.
that and when we're not shampooing enough and it kind of just stays there and and it's not water soluble, so it's staying on there. So if you're not shampooing your hair to every 2 or 3 weeks and you just lay, oh my scalp is dry, well it's dry for a reason. Let's go back to the root cause
Let's see
of
that.
why it's dry.
Yeah. Okay.
Can we go back? Can we roll it back?
Roll it back. Okay. Okay. Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. So, blood, how does that affect our hair loss or growth?
Yes. So your blood, if we're not absorbing go back to the nutrients, if we're not absorbing the nutrients, to the blood and making sure that it has everything that is needed, and we're not having good circulation, right? Some people don't have good circulation. So all of that, the nutrients are not reaching the follicle. We're not getting the oxygen is poor, so it's not, able to go through the body and deliver what it needs to deliver. So if we don't have good blood, we don't have good nutrients. So see, so there's so many, as you can see, there's so many reasons why a person might have hair loss, and not
Hmm.
not to mention trauma, emotional trauma, not
Yeah.
to mention stress. Like most people are stressed out, and we talk about it like, oh girl, I'm just stressed, ha ha ha. But so many different body parts are triggered by our chronic stress. And
Hmm.
I'm not talking about, oh, I'm stressed today because I have to take a test. That's acute. But I'm talking about day to day, 24/7 chronic stress.
Okay. Yeah. And a lot of us live in that state.
We live in
We're
that
always in that.
space,
Yeah. Yeah. We're always in that fight or flight
fight or flight.
state of mind. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And so how we explain it is fight or flight is that you're in constant, like, you're ready,
Mm.
right?
Because you
And
know something's about to happen. It
something's about
hasn't
to
happened,
happen.
but it's gonna happen. Yeah.
It's always going to happen, like, and we say things, I can't win for losing, and like
Yeah.
you know and so the fight or flight is that it's like you're getting ready to fight a bear. That's how they
Mhm.
explain it. And so the blood is always in your extremities. So if the blood is always in that, getting you ready to fight, getting you ready to be in that space, then the other body parts are they're not getting what it's supposed to get,
Okay. Okay.
right? So
Interesting.
um man, we can have this conversation for for days on end about hair loss.
Yeah. So if I just noticed a little bit of extra hair in the bathroom sink, and when I'm combing my hair, I just notice that,
More than usual
more than usual. Where do I start? And then we haven't really talked about, I noticed there are a lot of guys a few
as
guys that are,
well,
yeah.
as well. So where do you start? And one thing that I want to say is that when you start seeing that hair loss today,
Hmm.
it's not something that happened yesterday. It's something that happened 3 to 4 months prior to.
Okay, so it takes that long to
It takes
go.
that long for the body to understand what just happened. And so now the body's reacting to what happened 3 or 4 months prior to.
Okay,
So
okay.
then we have to look at a timeline. Did you have a major event? Did you lose a family member? Did you
Mm,
have a stressful event? Did you lose a job? Um, did you get divorced? Anything that could have triggered that, what we call telogen effluvium, right? Which is hair loss all over.
well, okay, I'm like, okay, that's a big word. Okay,
Telogen effluvium.
okay, all right. I'm not even gonna try, but okay.
Yeah, big words, but those are some of the things also that we have to identify. We
Mm,
say alopecia, but in essence we can have alopecia areata, which is baldness and spots. We can have traction alopecia, which is from excessive pulling. We can have alopecia totalis, universalis, telogen effluvium, and or a combination of all of those.
oh wow.
And then we have the cicatricial alopecias, which is the scarring, that's where you get the scarring, and that's where you get the permanent hair loss.
Okay, all right. So a lot of men become
Hmm.
bald in the
The
top of
crown.
the crown area.
Yes.
What's typically the cause of that? And is there something we could do to maybe slow the process?
Well, well, number one is when it's happening, because it most men begin to lose, statistically, begin to lose their hair about 25 years old.
Really?
So yeah, it starts that early. So when we see the thing is, even in women, and I've had clients, I said, listen, something is happening, but of course, we want to go right into denial. We don't want to do anything
Yeah,
about
no,
it.
I'm not losing
And
mine.
yeah, I'm not using my hair. Then 10 years later, now we want to play catch up.
Yeah.
But time equals follicles. But in this era, we have what we call androgen receptors. And for some reason, that's how God made us, it's in this area. So as it is with women, it's the same thing here, right? And then we have the DHT that's more present in this area as well. So what happens is those receptors kind of, so if this is your scalp, those
Mhm.
androgen receptors kind of cap. And so when it goes and caps or stops those nutrients from coming in, that's when you start seeing the thinning and the balding happening. So
Okay.
there's a lot going on with men as as with women. Hormones are in place. Um, what's one of the other major things? Genetics
Okay.
are
Because
in
I
place.
always look at it in my mind. I'm like, oh, genetics, it has to be. And that's just, I never think of.
It's in there, but even with genetics, even with other things, a lot of the things are lifestyle,
Mm,
right? Diabetes is a lifestyle, right?
right.
Um, so if we know that we are, because we are born with some things, right?
Hmm.
But as we grow through life, it's like going in a room and turning the light on, right? A trigger happens.
Okay.
So that's what starts the hair loss. So you can be genetically disposed to it. Doesn't mean that it's going to happen,
Okay.
right? But if we go down that road of doing the same things, we have the same lifestyle,
Mm,
we have the same stressors, then it's
it's,
kind of like, okay, it's going to happen.
okay.
Yeah,
That makes
yeah.
sense.
Because
Okay.
we're eating the same way, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So we haven't really changed anything to
We
modify.
haven't changed anything.
Yeah. Yeah.
So when somebody says, "Oh, it runs in my family," okay, because we're cooking with the same oils, we're doing the same things. So if we're doing the same things, ultimately we're going to get the same results.
Okay. Okay. So if someone modifies that, then they
Yes,
are less likely to have
yes,
that. I have someone on here. This is Kevin. He says, I have a few young clients with hair loss problems. Um,
yeah,
and he's a barber. Yeah.
yes, yes. So what I want to say, I have an older client and she has just had an episode, and so she's doing dialysis. And
Mm,
she said to me, "You would not believe the amount of young people that are getting dialysis treatments." And what popped into my mind is that we're not cooking anymore.
yeah, that's true.
We're driving through, you
Yeah.
know, and so we're going to have young clients with hair loss
Hmm.
because we're not getting the
The
nutrients.
nutrition.
They're drinking a lot of those energy drinks, you know. So a lot of it, I believe, is tied to nutrition.
Okay. That makes sense because most of that drive-through food has no
Zero,
nutritional value. Yeah.
zero,
Yeah.
zero. Yeah.
So, look, what did I miss? We talked about the cranial. We talked about trichology.
Uh-huh.
Um, we talked about owning our own building as opposed to uh, leasing.
Yeah.
So, if someone wanted to make that pivot, if I'm a hairstylist and I want to make that pivot into the trichology or the hair loss world,
Space.
what
Hmm.
space, what would you suggest they do?
Number one, you have to have a passion for it. Like, because the clients that come in, it can get very emotional.
Mm,
They share some things with you that you wish you didn't know, but here we are,
here you are. Yeah,
right? And
yeah.
so some really personal things um, that as you consult with them, you'll understand that this is part of their hair loss,
Mm,
right? So you have to be that person, right?
okay.
That's because this is not a drive-through.
Mm.
This is not this is not, here's the shampoo, here's the conditioner, here's the growth oil. Um, you're gonna be okay. This is not that.
Okay. So take me through, I guess a typical, and I guess there is no typical. As I
Right.
say it, I'm doing that. That's not even making sense. So, how what's because you have a protocol. right, on how you handle a client. So you come
Yes.
in and they do the consultation, and then if A, B, or C happens, what happens with that?
Okay. So consultation prior to them coming in, I take a look at their answers. So that'll give me a kind of a
Okay.
snapshot of what I
So you're
might
saying
be
your
doing
answers. So you're giving them a form before they even come in?
before they come in.
Okay.
Because I want to know what I'm walking into.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah. Okay.
I want to have a snapshot of, a mini uh, picture of what it can possibly be.
Okay.
And also, while they're there, we're talking, we're expounding on it a little bit more, right? Because you have a B C D, but if I see something that I think I need to ask you more about, then we're going to do that as well.
Okay.
After I do that, then we're going to do the scalp analysis. So I take the scope, I look at the scalp, and
Hmm.
I'm looking for, as I mentioned before, I'm looking for inflammation, redness on the scalp. I'm looking for clogged follicles. I'm looking for follicles that might not be present. I'm looking for follicles that are present but not producing hair. Um, and I'm also looking at your hair
Okay.
because that tells a story as well. I'm looking for dryness. I'm looking for breakage. Um, I haven't done in my trainings also. I can also do a pull test where I take some of your strands and I look under the microscope. I don't have the microscope yet, but that's on the horizon.
Okay.
So what that will tell me is if your hair is in the growth phase or it's in the
Okay. The
telogen
some
phase,
feeling, yeah,
getting ready to
yeah,
come. Yeah, 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 yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Whether it's growing, whether it's steady, or if it's in the phase where it's falling out and
Paula.
yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, yes, yes. So I also do a body analysis
Okay.
where you
Blood.
put your hands on this machine and it kind of reads your body energy, and it gives me a printout. It's been wonderful. Um, I also am incorporating the hair tissue mineral analysis where I take hair and I send it to the lab.
Ah.
So here gives us a snapshot of like the last 90 days of your deficiencies, your toxicities. Oh, it's great. Oh, it's great. I
Yeah.
did it on myself because I wanted to see, right? My toxic levels. I wanted to see what minerals I might be deficient in.
Uh-huh.
I wanted to see if I'm firing on all cylinders. I'm not. So I have some deficiencies. My adrenal glands are slow. I'm a slow oxidizer. So all of that gives us a snapshot as to what's happening,
Okay.
right? So
Wow. This is doctor level. This is medical doctor level of stuff.
but
So,
let me tell you, the reason why, because I had all these studies, I did all these classes, and I said, I don't know if I can do trichology. And I
right,
said that in the beginning, I said, I feel like I have to be a doctor to do trichology. And you
yeah,
have to have you have to have that interest to really peel back the layers of the onion to see what's really going on. And
right,
that's why I did the wigs because that's easy.
yeah,
But we are so in crisis,
yeah,
right? I see the Instagrams and I see them laying the lace wigs and I see all of that. I said, but at the end of the day, we don't have health.
mm,
We don't have health, and that's why you're seeing all the women with the hair loss and all of that, and it just bleeds me because it don't. I want to wear a wig because I want to,
yeah, yeah,
because I want to switch up.
yeah,
And most women would rather have their hair because they say, "Oh, I wish I could take this off, but I can't."
mm,
So let's give them options,
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah,
So being preventative, using the prevention. As soon as you notice something happened, then we should
Yeah.
take some action
Yeah.
at that point.
Yeah. And don't go into denial. I have ladies that go into denial. I
And
see.
that's probably just a natural thing for us to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't want to believe that.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, but if we don't do anything, it just gets worse.
yeah,
And that's why we have that scale. We see where the beginning, and then we see that part widening, and then we see all the way down the scale where this is all gone. So if we do nothing, that's in the cards for you.
okay,
So
yeah. So you will be at the Afro Hair Summit
yes,
this weekend. What can
yes.
we expect? Look, some more of this in depth.
I'm gonna try to keep it light because that it can get really heavy. So I
Yeah.
want to do more introductory. I'm playing around with some topics. One that I'm really thinking about, hair loss triggers beyond genetics, because that's kind of where stylists go to when we don't have
Mm.
answers. Oh, girl, and you say, "This is yeah." So my grandma had, and we just kind of stop there,
Okay.
right? Because
Yeah.
because it's easy. It's easy to stop there because now we don't have to go any
We don't have
further.
to think about it. Yeah.
We don't have to think
My
about it.
grandma was had with ball, so I'm just gonna be ball.
It's
Yeah.
easy.
Yeah.
It's easy. But at the end of the day, every woman wants their hair,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know. And so if we're touching them, and I know if you're a stylist, I know someone has said, "Oh, did you change my relaxer? Oh, did you use anything different?" No, I didn't.
Yeah.
Let's get to the nitty gritty of what's happening here.
Yeah.
Because they will try to put it on you. But I have learned because I haven't changed anything. And even if I did change anything, that's not the cause of your hair loss,
Yeah.
So I have learned to take that off of me and just try to have some deeper conversations about what's going on, what you're holding on to, that you need
Mm.
to let go, all the childhood traumas and all of that. And I'm not saying it just let it go. I'm saying get some help. Go talk to somebody
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
overall it's affecting you.
Mm.
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah. The mental health right now is we're realizing how big of a deal it is because tend to just kind of
Yeah,
suppress it and keep moving.
and keep moving. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we're angry, we holding on
Hmm.
to anger. Someone did you something when you was 5 and you're holding on to it. It's
Yeah.
affecting you. It will affect you.
Wow. So, okay. All right. So again, she'll be at the summit this coming weekend at the Hilton North. So if you guys have not gotten your tickets, get your tickets so you can talk to Linda about hair loss and
Ooh.
even getting into that. If you're a stylist, getting into it. If you are